final countdown.
We've booked dozens of events already in there, some as soon as right after they open.
The Westin Irving Convention Center Hotel is just about ready to open its doors. We are at the event celebrating that and all the business travelers bring to the city. Taking flight.
For customers, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're going to see a lot of this airplane.
We got an all-access look inside the newest type of plane in service at DFW Airport. Find out why it is making its debut here. Treasures of the past ready for the future.
All of these things are just amazing.
See the improvements just complete at Irving's Heritage House and who got a special honor at the latest big event there.
And our Valentine's Tea Sweethearts this year are...
Plus the reason why there is a new building at a favorite photo spot in Irving. Now on City Source. We have watched the Westin Irving Convention Center Hotel come out of the ground and through all phases of construction. Now it is just about ready to open. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. We are here in front of the Westin, which is a business partnership between private developers and the city of Irving. We will have more on this hotel, as well as the recently opened Texican Court, which is also just a few feet away from the convention center, in a few minutes. We begin with other news on the local impact of travel and tourism. Of course, one of the factors attracting a lot of groups and business to Irving is the city's proximity to DFW Airport. New numbers from the Federal Aviation Administration show DFW is the fourth busiest airport in the nation based on the number of flights in 2018. How many is that? More than 660,000, and the trend is moving upward. For the airlines working to fill all those flights, it can get competitive. That's why Delta Airlines just chose DFW as the location to debut its newest plane. It's an early morning celebration for another first at DFW Airport.
You'll be flying in a brand new Airbus A220 aircraft.
And there are reasons passengers and crew getting ready for this inaugural flight to New York's LaGuardia Airport believe it's something to capture in pictures.
It's been about 3 years of preparation have gone into this day, so we're excited that it's finally here.
The main attractions they'll want to see will be on board the new plane. We got a special preview. This is the Airbus A220. This model holds 109 passengers.
A narrow-body aircraft that gives you a wide-body feel.
The configuration seems to buck some industry trends. The seats are wider.
That was one of the things that really resonated with us at Delta when we're looking to find a new aircraft.
And each seat features new wireless in-flight entertainment technology.
It's also easier for us to maintain in terms of usability and then in terms of changing out content to make sure everything is fresh.
Along with all of that, there are other features on the A220 that customers have been asking for, including larger overhead bins, and also some features that customers may have never even realized they were missing, such as a window in the lavatory. I heard one report describe it as a loo with a view.
If that's not a tagline, I don't know what is.
Up front, we checked out all the new controls in the cockpit.
There's electronic checklists.
This Dallas-based pilot is looking forward to flying this plane more.
Should be quiet, very reliable, fuel-efficient experience.
That efficiency is the result of some features we saw as we moved outside. The A220 is made from a composite material that is lighter. Factor in more efficient engines, and Delta expects these planes will burn about 20% less fuel. That's why the airline just ordered even more of these planes to use on more routes.
We couldn't be more excited to launch the airplane.
Thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy the flight.
The day after our tour, the first travelers board, and there is a big reason Delta chose DFW for this debut.
And it's an important business market. If you just look at the U.S. travel market and where is the business demand, DFW is very near the top of that list.
A strong business climate leading to improved experiences for travelers.
Thank you for flying with us.
On a related note, growth at DFW is continuing. The airport shared these pictures of the construction underway at the Terminal East satellite. The airport is renovating that space that has been vacant for a while. When it reopens, it will accommodate 100 regional flights per day. Several new hotels and a lot of restaurants have opened in this area and around the city. Also, there are a lot of special events and meetings that draw visitors. All of that leads to a big economic impact that is celebrated during a special event here at the Convention Center. Cell phone video captures the moment. This group finds out the location of its next big meeting.
And we're going to the best city in Texas. Irving, Texas.
The group is the Religious Conference Management Association.
It just was so cool to be there, to have that announcement made, to understand how much that's going to mean to us to have them here, but then to see everybody in the room so fired up about it.
And spreading that enthusiasm about visitors and their impact is one of the primary goals of this event. It's the Irving Hospitality Industry Annual Meeting hosted by the Convention and Visitors Bureau at the Convention Center. The invited community leaders and hotel and restaurant operators are here for updates on all that is new around them.
You know what, Thomas? I still pinch myself when I walk in this building because it took us, 20 years to build this, and it's even going to be more exciting when the Westin Hotel opens.
We're really excited. We're to the finish line here.
The Westin Irving Convention Center Hotel is now in its final stages before opening.
And then the last couple things we do is finish the presidential suite and the concierge lounge.
The exact opening date will be announced soon, and people involved expect it to be busy right away.
It's going to be huge. We've booked dozens of events already in there, some as soon as right after they open.
It's just going to be great to see people in the facility.
People are also taking notice of the Texican Court, which recently opened, also across from the Convention Center.
It's exceeded expectations.
The Texican Court is a boutique hotel with a unique style that's drawing guests.
Everything's been going great. A lot of community support. The Convention Visitor Bureau has been sending a lot of business our way, and we've been experiencing heavy group business.
The openings come as demand remains strong. Irving's hotel occupancy rate for 2018 was 73%, which beats both the statewide and nationwide occupancy rates. So that means existing properties are doing well too.
Our main market really is our business travelers because they do come out in our area quite often, and we are surrounded by a lot of companies and corporations.
And she hears more of her business customers looking for activities available after 5.
They want to find something to get into. Once that day-to-day stuff is all taken care of, they want to have some fun.
To help satisfy those travelers, the Toyota Music Factory opened in 2017, and it is meant to complement the Irving Convention Center as it continues to attract diverse events.
We're averaging 291 events a year and running about an 85% occupancy rate, besting the industry average by a good 15 points or so.
That's the real key to all this, is bringing it all together, utilizing all the tools we have in the toolboxes, from the hotels to the restaurants to the businesses, to complement each other.
It is a formula in formation that led to this event's theme.
Here's the question I wanted to ask is, can a city have a second act?
Second Act Stories podcaster Andrew Levine generally profiles people making a career change, but decided to focus a show on Irving and what is next for the city.
You're punching way above your weight, folks, in terms of success in the economic development area.
You're always building for the future, and the future is going to be bright.
Leaders see signs that there is a second act underway. Remember that clip from the beginning?
Irving, Texas.
Irving has been working to attract that group for years without success. But now,
Because of everything that's happening around us, not only do we make the cut, we got the gig.
the Convention and Visitors Bureau hopes the excitement of these people from out of state is contagious, because new research shows there is work to do here at home.
And the place where we were softest was how residents saw Irving as a destination. So we've got our customers believing, we've got a lot of people we've gotten evangelized, but I think people live here and they see it through a different lens.
A lot of people have no idea how much, the fact that we have over 12,000 hotel rooms, and the fact that because we have the business, that brings the business traveler in.
The Irving-based American College of Emergency Physicians.
So they are sharing Irving's successes attracting visitors and honoring those making an impact as they look forward to all that is still to come in this second act for Irving.
Everybody can be an advocate.
That was a great event, and that guest speaker's podcast on Irving is available at secondactstories.org. And stick around, because after today's City Source, we'll show you one of the highlight videos shown at that event. It features some of the events and new attractions of the past year. We have several developments to report as the city prepares for the May 4th election. The ballot will include a measure that, if voters approve it, would allow for the sale of all alcoholic beverages in stores for off-premise consumption only. This would be an expansion of current law that only allows for the sale of beer and wine. Also on the ballot, 5 Irving School Board seats and 3 City Council races. For those City Council seats, we have the list of candidates to share with you. First, the races that are unopposed. For single-member District Place 1, incumbent John Danish is the only candidate. He is an attorney. For single-member District Place 7, it's incumbent Kyle Taylor. He is the CEO of a nonprofit. Now to at-large District Place 2. There are a lot of candidates. A drawing determines the order in which they will appear on the ballot, and here are the names in that order. Cheyenne Elahi is an attorney. Dr. Naveed Clare is a physician. Dr. Olivia Novello is a retired realtor and educational consultant. Dinesh Mali works in engineering. Radwan M. Saleh is a regional director. Jesse Kohler lists his occupation as veteran and student. Alan E. Meager is the incumbent. He lists his occupation as retired and student. Now to the dates to keep in mind. Early voting begins on April 22nd. Election day is May 4th. The City Secretary's office can answer election questions. That number is 972-721-2493. In our ongoing series on infrastructure, work is progressing quickly at Millennium Fountain. You can see the latest chapter here in this time-lapse video from the site, which is right across from the South Irving Library. Crews brought in a prefabricated concrete building on a trailer, then a crane carefully moves it into place. The new building will house the fountain's pumps and controls. Previously, those controls were underground, where they would sometimes get flooded and stop working. By having them above ground, service should be more reliable, and it will also be safer for city parks employees to access. The pump house building is just one improvement underway. A new feature will give this favorite photo spot even more visual appeal.
There's going to be a new lighting system that now it's just a white light system that we put in 2000. This is going to be an LED system that can be programmed for different colors. So if you want to program it for red at Valentine or, whatever you want to do, green for St. Patrick's Day. So they'll be able to change the colors. Even week to week, you can put different colors in there. And from day to day, you could change it if you want to have a controller. And it'll be pretty cool to see the fountain have all the options of different colors.
While all of this work is underway, the fountain will remain closed. However, some good news. The quick pace of progress means it could open sooner than originally predicted. We'll keep you updated on that. Learn more about other improvements in Irving and hear from city leaders at the next town hall meeting. It's Thursday, March 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the Heritage Senior Center. South Irving will be the focus. And of course, South Irving has a lot of history, and the city has completed improvements at Irving's Heritage House. We went to a special event that marked 105 years since the housewarming celebration of that home, a home with ties to the earliest days of the city.
This is how they decorated to go into their bedrooms.
There's plenty of vintage to see.
All of these things are just amazing.
At the Vintage Valentine Tea hosted by the Irving Heritage Society.
And there's a story about every piece in nearly about every room.
The annual event draws a crowd to Irving's Heritage House.
Oh, it just goes back to the pioneers of our city.
This goes back to the Schultz family when they built the house.
The house was built in 1912, but they didn't have the housewarming party till 1914, and it was with the theme of the Valentine.
People arrive to celebrate tradition and find out who the society will surprise as Sweetheart of the Year.
So I'll have to not share that with you just yet.
Stick around for that, but along with all that is old and traditional.
And this is how they washed up in the morning.
There are also some new things to notice.
It is rewarding.
The City of Irving's capital improvement team just completed several projects here.
The first thing that we did was repair the foundation.
Along with foundation work, contractors painted the house and put on a new roof. All work that demanded a careful touch.
There are some pretty delicate areas in this building due to its age.
And that was not the only challenge.
Well, in this area here, we found a raccoon. Just kept sticking his head out of a hole till we finally got him.
In fact, experts captured a couple of them from the walls and released them elsewhere.
It's an adventure.
You have cream to put in it?
Yes, I will.
Back at the tea, guests noticed the impact of all that work, including the foundation repair.
I think it's fantastic. You can now walk across here And you know, the floor was just bouncing.
The investment that the city has made, it just says a lot about Irving, Texas and what this community means.
I'm really proud of the city of Irving for doing this and keeping this building alive.
We have a responsibility to maintain property within the city. It's a huge priority for us because it's our history, it's our background.
And that history lives on through people with first-hand stories to share.
I can just still remember Catherine Schultz standing at the front door welcoming people. That's just one of my favorite memories of all time.
Mrs. Schultz would have tea even for some children. She would teach you how to do a proper tea. You didn't even realize you were being taught things, you know, and it was just so much fun. So we just want to keep it. And she actually used this.
At this event, they share those practices of the Schultz family.
We have all the recipes that she used in that day. That's what's out on the table.
Some of us get older and bring in the young ones and be sure the history is maintained and the story gets told.
That's beautiful.
For Candace Kinsey, she's happy to learn all that she can. She's a first-time visitor.
I've lived in Irving a long time. I was probably about 6, so quite a long time. And I haven't ever been here. I haven't ever taken the time to come. So I think it's great that they're doing this. Okay, let me put this on your plate.
After everyone has a chance to enjoy the tea and the social scene, it's the news people have been waiting to hear.
And our Valentine Tea Sweethearts this year, Mr. and Mrs. Oscar Ward.
Talking about a surprise, man. Come on now.
That announcement is always followed by song.
Just call you sweetheart, we're in love with you.
The Heritage Society chose the Wards for their ongoing involvement. On the long list, Kay Ward is a past president of the group. And they just donated this flagpole. It now stands in the front yard of the Heritage House.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed every moment.
It is another chapter for history and another story to tell, originating from Irving's Heritage House.
It's always important to remember our history.
And here's your chance to get a look inside. The Heritage House is resuming its first Sunday tours, and the next date is March 3rd. Docent-led tours begin at 3 and 4 p.m. Group tours are also available at other times by request. The Heritage House is located at 303 South O'Connor Road. Dallas Area Rapid Transit is planning changes to bus service starting in August. In advance of that, DART has been gathering public input at several meetings, including one in Irving. All of that leads up to a public hearing for the region. That is set for Tuesday, March 12th at 6:30 p.m. at DART headquarters in downtown Dallas. The changes are meant to help as DART moves forward with its long-term transit system plans, which look all the way out to the year 2045. Women have a chance to learn self-defense techniques through the Irving Police Department's Rape Aggression Defense, or RAD class. You see video here of past RAD sessions to get an idea of what it's all about. The next class is set for March 4th through 7th from 6:30 until 9:30 p.m. and participants must attend all 4 days. It is open to girls as young as 12 and up to all adults. The class starts with lessons on awareness and risk avoidance before getting into some of these physical exercises. It is free, but registration is required, and the classes often fill up quickly. To sign up, contact Officer Jill Smith at jsmith@cityofirving.org or call 972-721-2746. The Irving Police Department is inviting residents to its Blue Tie Banquet. It's a chance to honor outstanding officers while raising money for Irving's Family Advocacy Center. The Blue Tie Banquet is Tuesday, March 5th at 6 p.m. here at the Irving Convention Center. For tickets, go to cityofirving.org/2521. Many organizations look for speakers for meetings and events, and the Irving Fire Department is offering to help. The department offers free fire safety education classes and can even bring out a fire engine or other equipment in many cases. There are topics for children and adults. The department asks that you reach out at least a month before your event, and here's how. Go to cityofirving.org/607 or call 972-721-2651. That's also where to reach out to arrange a station visit. And with that, it's already time for our Pets of the Week. Here's Brett at the Animal Care Campus.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Pets of the Week. I'm Brett Wheeler, this is Michael Whiteside, and this time we have Mimi. So Michael, tell me about Mimi.
Mimi is about 6 years old. She's a terrier mix, and she was an owner surrender because her owner was unable to keep her and take care of her anymore. She's very, very sweet. She loves to be held. She loves to go explore things. And she's a quiet little girl. I mean, she's just kind of calm and laid back. And just from what the owner said when they surrendered her, she really loves to just be held and loves to be loved on. You know, she's only been here about a week or so she's still a little nervous, but she's a really sweet girl.
All right, Michael, it seems like we have a theme with small dogs here today, and it doesn't get much smaller than Little Shorty. So tell me about Little Shorty.
Little Shorty originally came into Irving Animal Services as a stray. We rescued him, DFW Humane Society, and found out that he was heartworm positive. So he just finished his heartworm treatment yesterday, so he is now available to go home, and he's quite excited that he can now move around without being on a leash all the time. He's really friendly, he's very active. He's only about a year old, so he's got lots of energy and activity, but he really loves everybody that he meets.
All right, Michael, now we've moved on to Toby. Tell me about him.
Toby is about 3 years old. He was an owner surrender to Irving Animal Services, and DFW Humane Society rescued him from there. He also had tested positive for heartworms, and he just completed his heartworm treatment as well, so he's ready to go home anytime. He's a dachshund mix. He's very calm, very quiet. He is a little nervous around listening to other dogs bark and that kind of thing, but I think it's more that with the heartworm treatment, he's been, pretty much confined to his kennel and on a leash when he is out because we didn't want them to get overstimulated. So I think he's just a little bit nervous all around, but he is really sweet. He loves to be held, and he's a friendly little guy.
Toby seems very relaxed, and he's going to make a great pet someday. And then you did also mention that Toby did have heartworms not too long ago. Heartworms are a very common problem for dogs. How often do you see those coming into the Irving Animal Care campus?
It's pretty common to have animals that test positive for heartworms. Heartworms are transmitted by mosquitoes. If they're not on a heartworm preventative, which is something you can get from your vet, then it's entirely possible a single mosquito bite could give them heartworms. And basically heartworms are really worms that grow inside the heart and can cause congestion and ultimately heart failure. So it's really simple. Just keep your pets on preventative each month, and that'll help them avoid coming down with heartworms.
And that's a big deal, and it's very serious, and everyone should be on the lookout for something like that. For more information on heartworms and how to get preventatives, check with your vet. Back to you, Thomas.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. It is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Also, check out the websites you see on your screen for more adoptable animals. We have more news for you next time on City Source, including a look at urban wildlife. We're hearing from Irving Animal Services and attending an event where residents are learning more about the creatures sharing our city. Remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thecityofirving. Subscribe and you can be among the first to see our videos when they are posted. Also, leave us some likes while you're there. And that's it for this edition of City Source. Thanks to everyone who is a part of this one, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
This is a home run deal. When you've got a community that embraces it so well, you've got a convention center next door, you've got the music factory.
It puts a package together that our ICVB has needed for many, many years.
It's just very different than anything we have in Irving.
I think it actually reminds me of my childhood days in a motor court.
It's always been on our radar, and we always wanted to be here. This was the perfect opportunity, the perfect site.
When I say embassy, you say suites. Embassy. Embassy. Yeah.
About a $5.5 million renovation, so we're all excited.
You're going to start to see certainly the value of these properties rise, so that's great for the property owners, that's great for our hoteliers, and it's great for our community.
Yeah, we're just excited to be new and provide the best accommodations for our guests and be part of everything going on in Irving.
It's a great reinvestment into this area.
Beautiful new property, lovely setup, great thing to add to our market.
One of the big drivers for our site selection criteria is Class A office space. The economy is very exciting.
The city and the residents of Irving who passed the referendum to make this complex a reality deserve the real credit on this deal.
We've been excited about it, and now not having to maybe Uber downtown, or at least having a lot of options.
It's amazing.
Irving's a great spot for us, probably the closest venue that we have to a major airport. We do have people coming from Boston, Seattle.
I really want to be in the Olympics.
This event is very important to the city of Irving. You know, it puts us on yet another map. This is a great high-profile type of event in a new and emerging market segment.
So we have people that are coming in from France, we have people that came in from Guam this morning, so it's an international event. A lot of happy, healthy people out. It's the best.
This is incredible. When I first found out about it, I was just kind of like, how come nothing like that ever existed before?
It's just fun. Why shouldn't people come out here?
Yeah, our attendance is exploding. We just keep going up and up and up, and we love it.
And we have jumper number 3.
Irving's a great location for actually one reason, the workability of the city. And so when you have that kind of energy, it makes it so easy.
We have a lot of vendors that are selling a lot of yarn, tools, and supplies that will help you get to your fiber goals.
My personal preference is I like to knit socks.
We have 2 stories filled to the brim of over 100 arcades set free to play, giant esports arena.
And then we go to like these great hotels like the Four Seasons. But where else are you going to see a butcher demo in the middle of a ballroom?
And if you're a foodie, this is something you'd plan a trip around.
Good to see you.
Hi guys, you want to try some hot sauces?
Try this. It's really good.
Want to try that too?
Flavorful pain.
We started this 20, 30, 40 years ago talking about it. We are really excited.
I just think it's a great thing for the community to finally have its own heritage museum.
This is the 30th anniversary of the High Spirited Citizen program, which was founded in 1988 by the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Thank you all for everything you've done.
We know there's never going to be a shortage of volunteers to recognize in Irving, and that's a great thing.
Your magazine, its very first issue of Surveyor, just won an International Apex Award.
It's the Grammys of Print Awards.
It's a quality production. It's a beautiful magazine. We're so proud of it.